Hi-Fi Rush is a third-person action rhythm game that was surprise announced at the Bethesda and Xbox Developer Direct recently, and while I don't usually play rhythm games, this has been an absolute pleasure to play, and I highly recommend you give it a go. Hi-Fi Rush is a quality game within a pretty niche genre. Rhythm games are nowhere near mainstream, but some have crept through onto my feed. Metal Hellsinger, Crypt of the Necrodancer, BPM or Bullets Per Minute. I played a bit of Bullets Per Minute a while ago, and as soon as I realized that you couldn't just spam your gun at an enemy and I actually had to try and time my shots to the rhythm, I lost all interest. And honestly, I'm ashamed that that was the case, as considering now I prefer to give games a proper go more often than not. But Hi-Fi Rush didn't need to convince me. I was hooked by the end of the first stage. One thing that really sticks out is just how polished this game is on every front. The animation in this game is on another level. It's high quality, no corners cut animation, and you just have to admire it. I've encountered zero bugs, and the game has run incredibly smooth for me too. And to transition into something that's also in the realm of polish but affects the game on a larger scale, the mechanics. These are incredibly polished as well and feel great, so let's talk about them. Movement and combat feels phenomenal, and you would think that for a rhythm game this is something that needs to be tackled carefully, given that the game is based around precision timings, and so the combos and attacks all need to fit nicely into the rhythm. And, well, I mean, they just kind of nail it, and one of the best parts about it is that it's easy to understand. Your attacks hit on the beats, and all the attacks feel powerful, and especially the beat hits at the end of a combo. Basically, to pull off a combo, you perform specific button or key presses, and then a circle will start to close in, you hit the timing right, and it executes the last move of the combo, and this feels awesome, and is also accompanied by an awesome effect like a beam of light or something else. Switching from target to target is more of a natural move than a purposeful one. This can sometimes lead to me fighting the wrong enemy. I've sifted through the controls to see if I can solve this, but it's not a big enough issue for me to care. Plus, I play on PC, so maybe it's easier on controller. Speaking of PC, this game feels great on a mouse and keyboard. Apart from that whole target choice thing, which could honestly just be me, everything else feels natural and easy to do. I haven't changed a single default keybind, and the game doesn't overcomplicate any of the combos, and they all feel doable. Most of them are done with the two mouse buttons, which is super easy. Later on you'll get Q, E, Alt, etc., but they're still easy to use and don't intrude on the flow of combat. The fact that I'm not the best at this type of game, but I can still pull off these combos confidently is a testament to how well made the system is, in my opinion. Moving around the combat arenas and the world in general also feels fluid and rewarding at the same time. That's important considering this is a game that has platforming elements. They aren't incredibly complex platforming elements, but they really do add to the overall experience. Once you're done with combat, you move on to a more open area and the platforming begins. And this is a nice change of pace, but it doesn't let the pace slip up either. There are also secrets in each stage, so a little exploring actually pays off and rewards you in various ways with currency or upgrade parts. It's simple movement, move and dash being the main two, and then later on you get a grapple hook, which isn't used freely, but can be used in specific parts of the game and in combat. The tone of the game reminds me a lot of Ratchet and Clank, and maybe it's the gears that you collect or the writing, although it's probably a mix of the third-person combat and platforming if we're being real, but I'm not complaining. I don't own a PlayStation, so I haven't had my Ratchet and Clank fix for years. And for what it's worth, I really enjoy the art style. Cel-shaded graphics hold a special place in my heart, and the visuals fit this game perfectly. In fact, nothing feels out of place with this game and its tone. The characters are enjoyable, they aren't anything special, and don't expect depth, but they are entertaining, and I haven't noticed any super cringe dialogue or out-of-touch jokes. Regardless, they exist to take you through the game, and I'm happy to go along with them. And lastly, from what I can tell so far, there's a lot of progression, and I love progression. I'm a fiend for progression, so the upgrades, achievements, and what looks to be New Game Plus content I'm seeing so far has me ready to run it back. Anyway, I definitely recommend you check out Hi-Fi Rush. It's not going to be for everyone, but I say that about so many games that I look at, and then I end up loving them, so take that as you will, but in the meantime, follow my Twitter, follow my Twitch, subscribe, it would mean a lot, and I'll see you later.